We back. What we gonna say, boy? Welcome to the Football Purists, and we are going to look at the round of 16, where we now have our quarterfinalists, and we will get to the quarterfinals just now. But let me just do a little recap of the round of 16. But before that, hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and burn a notification. Now, the round of 16 had a lot of interesting matchup, different styles, contrasting coaching, mentality, everything, star players, underdogs, everything you wanted in a competition. But the round of 16 was nevertheless a tough round to call. I think after the initial group stages, everybody was free to really back a team full 100 unless it was your original team. But the round of 16 did throw up one or two surprises. We'll get to that. But first, we're going to look at the Dutch, the Netherlands versus the USA. Now, this game, coming out of the group stages, the US had most of the momentum, having a great match against the English that really didn't show up on that day. It looked very ordinary. The Americans looked very potent up until the final third. Yeah, that was the issue. But during that game and the Iranian game, you saw a spirit, you saw a fight, you saw a pride that only the Americans can really bring, right? When you talk about the American national team, you don't really look so much at the talent per se, but you always look at the American spirit. And they brought it in those last games. Now, heading into the Dutch game, you could have sworn the Dutch had no history or no top players, because all the talk going into this game was, yes, America could do it. Yes, they have the players to do it. Yes, they have the spirit, which is all fine and well, but you still had to play the game. And the way how they dismissed the Dutch as if they had the worst of the performances in the group stages, it was like, okay, somebody's gonna get a kick in the face just for even thinking that, right? If you have watched over the competition, the Dutch have been getting better game by game. And this is a knockout competition where you have to choose your points and your time to peak, even in games, even in the competition. So the Dutch have been taking it very easy, managing the game, even without the ball. So when you watch the US game, the Dutch didn't have much of the ball compared to the US. But what the Dutch did so well was contain the threats and really had a precision, a pinpoint way on how to attack the Americans when they got the ball. And whoa, was it lightning fast. We had the two wing backs scoring two of their goals, right? And that came from the break of just sitting back, waiting for the right time, waiting for the Americans to commit, which they did often. They could have scored in the beginning with what's this guy named by? Captain America, yeah, whatever his name is. They could have scored with him, but with not converting that chance, that was it. And that was the catalyst to wake up the Dutch, who went and took the game by the scruff of the neck by the first half. And then the second half was just basically waiting for the Americans to push and then close off the game, which they did. So looking at it, the Dutch are getting better, and whoever they have to face next, they're going to have problems because the players are getting accustomed to the system. And remember this, Louis van Gaal don't care about the past Dutch teams and how they played. Looking at the past Dutch teams, it was like Bergkamp, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, you had Van Basten, you had Rijkaard, you had Hullet. So you had an array of talent before this current crop of Dutch players. But what you can see evidently from Louis van Gaal systems that he have them working under is that they have a clear structure on what are their strengths and what they can do to hurt the opposition. And not to mention, they have undoubtedly one of the top defenders in the world, Van Dijk, playing alongside Nathan Natke and the lit when ready, and Dumfries in the back. So you're looking at a very solid defensive core. And as I said, the spine runs to De Jong in the middle, and you have Depay on the top, who is getting better and under more gameplay. So you can only think that the next team to play them wouldn't take the Dutch as likely as the US. Argentina on paper face one of the most straightforward games in the round of 16, and it was against Australia. Now, if you heard me in earlier editions, I would have said Argentina don't have a midfield. My God, they don't have a midfield. What is going on? From the first to the third game, they more or less put it together, but it was based on adjustments by the coach for Lionel Messi to drop a little deeper and control the pack. Other than that, without Lionel Messi, Argentina is finding it very hard to hold on to this ball and really dictate the plays. But they were facing Australia, who did well enough to come out of the group with France. Denmark was one of the favorites to come out of the group with France, but Australia pipped them to it, and kudos to them, they were there. And you looked at the game from the beginning. Argentina ran the show. They looked fluid in the middle in terms of the wing backs coming forward. They came forward, and I have to point out Julian Alvarez, man. G's and H's, he gotta start, he gotta play. Something about him, he knows exactly where to be. He knows how to find the net, and not to take away from his natural gifts, but his work ethic is off the chain. For real. See that man running? You see him here, you see him over there. He works real hard for the team up in front. I mean, Lautaro Martinez does it too, but I think Alvarez does it to a more higher intensity. And his positioning when they win back the ball is almost second to none. So looking at this game, Argentina ran the show, 2 goals up, another one from Lionel Messi, putting himself, like just say, scribing the name on the so-called greatest of ever argument. Right now I don't really business about it. I just wanted to see the games and we're having fun with it. But you have to say his performance in this game was really good. And I would like to, I think this was the first time he scored in one of the knockout games at the World Cup. Funny enough, eh? Funny. But here it is. Coming down to the ending, Australia did pull back one via deflection, and you could have seen the nerves return to the Argentine team. And I guess to any team, right? You're leading 2 goals up, you're comfortable. You didn't really clearly put away the game to get back a goal, a late goal. All of a sudden, you know, it kind of raises your anxiety levels, even with the crowd, with the 12th man out there who is been so phenomenal for the Argentine team. You could have felt it, you know, straight through the screen. So they would stud the storm, and they got the results. They move on to the quarterfinals, where they will meet the Netherlands. And when we're doing the quarterfinals breakdown, we're going to have to look at this matchup and really see who has the edge. And I guess any team with Lionel Messi does have the edge, right? But I mean, if you don't put away your chances, it's not Lionel Messi alone on the team. And watching at the Argentine defense, if you don't put away your chances, you do stand the chance of losing grip of a game. Otamendi is a great professional, but he's not the second coming of Ayala. You know, he's there, he's a body, he puts his body on the line, as a matter of fact. But if Argentina is to face any of the top teams, a barrage of runners and late arrivals in the box, I think they can be under a little danger, even with Messi on the pitch. Because remember, with Messi on the pitch, you lose a little bit of your defensive qualities. Somebody got to pick up for that, and I think that is where Julian Alvarez comes in. But we're going to have to see a better collective unit when defending, because the competition is getting stiffer as we go deeper into this tournament. So I'll see you guys in the next segment. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button.